It has been a really, really rough couple of weeks for MrBeast. And so essentially, I'm here to take you guys through the timeline of this absolute dumpster fire train wreck. And the first thing that we're going to start with is actually allegations of him faking his videos. There are much more sinister allegations, which will be the focus of the video. But to preface, we can go ahead and play this clip.
If what we did was scripted, holy shit, this stuff would be easy to pump out.
Have you ever faked a video?
No. But this train track is CGI, these bus wheels are CGI, this explosion is fake, this shredder is CGI, this car is digitally lifted, this pit is fake, this guy is fake, this raccoon is a paid actor, this island costs more than $1, this city is not abandoned, these buildings are CGI, but it's not your only way out. You can literally get an Uber to the airport for $20. That's not a lurker. It's just a guy. This whole room is fake. This contestant is an actor and a secret employee at MrBeast. They had him dive through this fake door twice. This line is scripted. This action is scripted. In fact, pretty much all the videos with Mac are scripted.
Oh, wow. I saw this one.
You did it! Yeah! What we did was scripted. Holy shit, this stuff would be easy to pump out.
Oh, wow. And by the way, these are all employees and stuff that are dropping dime, right?
Yeah. So this video was released on July 24th. This was a particularly very bad day for MrBeast. But before we get into all of that and those allegations, first we need to understand who Chris Tyson is. So a lot of this controversy is dropping simultaneously, and one of the biggest proponents of this has been his relationship with Chris Tyson, who is a now former employee of MrBeast, longtime best friend of Jimmy as well. They've been best friends forever, and Chris was featured in many of the videos. This controversy started last year when Chris actually transitioned and came out as Ava. You can see the picture on the right is Chris formerly with his then family. And now on the left, this is Ava. We can click over to the next video. This is Ava, Chris, coming out as trans on this show.
Oh boy. I mean, today you showed up fully presenting as a woman.
I did, because I am a woman.
Oh shit!
Scary.
She heard.
You've never said that before, right?
I've never said that publicly, no. But I've been fully confident in that decision for over a year now.
Yeah.
Wow.
First of all, what do you, Amy, because I know you're going to keep going. By the way, unattractive as shit. You're going through all the makeup and the hair and the dress. At least lighten up your voice, dude. You sound like a scary dude. And by the way, and Amy, what do you tell, just really fast, what do you, and I don't even need an answer. What do you tell that kid? He has a daughter? Was that a daughter?
A son.
A son? What does that son, Amy, tell his, I have 2 moms now. Go ahead, Amy, I'm so sorry.
No, it's really sad. And Chris got a lot of backlash for this time last year. A lot of people were calling Chris out for leaving his family, coming out publicly like this. But also what happened about a year ago were some very suspicious old tweets came out from Chris Tyson. We can pull those up on the screen. And the first one says, "Nothing gets my knob a crankin' like some lolly."
What's lolly?
Lolly is anime porn depicted with young children.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's actually a full
Who
genre.
thinks that's a good idea to post?
It's
demons. That's a
I mean, he was young then. This is 2016.
It doesn't matter.
So I mean, but
I
yeah,
would
no,
be scared to post that shit.
it's insane. It's insane. And here's another one. That bitch looks good for a 4-year-old.
Oh my god.
It sounds like Christy Teigen. That's what I thought it was.
Oh,
for a
yeah,
second. Yeah, that
Christy Teigen.
pervert.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so this has been an ongoing thing. MrBeast did come out in defense of Chris a year ago and essentially said, hey, it's just boys being boys, those old tweets.
Not boys being boys
listen,
anymore.
Listen, that wasn't verbatim, but he was, there was some edgy jokes made back in the day, was essentially the essence of the defense that MrBeast came to and said, hey, this is just transphobic. I'm sick of all this transphobia. And it was shut down. And I'm actually surprised that it went away. However, things have resurfaced. And so about a month ago now, a small creator on YouTube dropped a video, someone who claimed to actually work with MrBeast and Chris Tyson in the past. And this person alleged that Chris Tyson had very inappropriate relationships with a number of underage boys. But one in particular was this person on Twitter called Lava GS. And this is purported to have happened when Lava was 13 and Chris was in his early 20s. Apparently, they also met up when Lava was 16. We don't actually know what transpired when that occurred. However, when all of this became made known, Lava did come out in Chris's defense saying, nothing ever happened. Again, it was just like some edgy jokes. I helped him with his Discord server. It was nothing crazy. And so that was the story for a little bit. But more and more creators started to dig in, go into the archives. Leaked messages started to come out.
Oh, man.
And it, eventually culminated. Weeks started to progress. And, there's a lot of stuff that is really unsubstantiated. When you look at all of the evidence, there's a lot. But there's definitely enough here to deduce that, like, this guy's a creep. There's some creepy stuff.
I mean, he thinks he dresses as a woman and thinks he's a woman and wants us to believe that he's a woman. There's obviously mental problems there for you.
And it's worse than what you think, too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like, trust me. And so this thing started to get particularly bad for MrBeast on this day, July 22nd. Now, remember, this is 2 days before the video comes out exposing him for faking his videos.
Gotcha.
So let's pull up this tweet. As all this was circulating, someone, I don't know this creator, but apparently they're
Jimmy
like an influencer.
Who's Jimmy? MrBeast?
MrBeast.
Yes.
Okay.
Jimmy Donaldson is
Gotcha.
MrBeast. So he made this tweet saying Jimmy knew, right? So either way for MrBeast at the time, like, this would have been a nightmare. Even if he doesn't know, just having to deal with all of this stuff, like, you can only imagine what's going through his head. But likewise, if he did in fact know, he would be going into heavy course correction mode right now, cover-up mode right now. Like, who knows what's going through his heads, but things only started to progress and get even worse. Following that,
by the way,
we can go over to the next.
Amy.
This guy, when you're saying you don't know who this guy Jake Franklin is, he was their third partner.
Third partner.
Oh.
So they were like a trio. And they made videos together for years.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I recognize Chris. My brother actually went to school with Jimmy Donaldson.
Really?
So,
Oh
in
my
North
gosh.
Carolina, yeah. So
He was pretty close to them.
Okay, got you.
so I recognize Chris from the earlier videos. But I wasn't familiar.
Yeah,
with
see, I'm not
Jake.
into that whole world. I mean, we just see MrBeast and just like the entourage, but then I saw the trans guy and how he was trying to push him down everybody's freaking throat, no pun intended, but
Yeah.
go ahead.
I mean, it's mostly kids who watch this
It's
stuff. So I'm not
disgusting.
surprised that you don't know, which again, it's why, like, we get people fake YouTube
Chris Tyson from
videos, but
MrBeast
it is like kind of particularly deceptive when, you're marketing to kids and you're telling kids things like subscribe and you could win money. That's conditioning their minds. Like, they see you as an authority figure, as someone they can trust.
Called grooming.
In that sense, lying to them is very, very bad. So anyways, 24th, right? So the 22nd, this tweet came out, Jimmy knew. The 24th, again, this is the day that exposure video came out, and also the day that this video dropped, which is actually a second victim.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and play this.
Chris Tyson from MrBeast used me, manipulated me, and did very inappropriate things with me while I was about 15 years old. I was actually friends with Lava GS at the time, who is the main victim of Chris that everyone has been talking about these last few days, who claims he isn't a victim, but we all know he is, and we all know he probably got paid off. Not only that, but he's also under an NDA from when he worked for MrBeast Gaming for 2 years, and he tried to get me to join MrBeast Gaming himself, Lava. He's the one who actually sent me the contract and tried to get me to sign the NDA, at which point I ended our friendship because I knew they were just trying to silence me. Me and him were both initially involved in running Chris's Discord server, helping him set up his Twitch streams and moderating them, as well as other technical back-end things that he needed help with. This Discord server that we were a part of had about 10 people in it, most of whom were minors. I'm not sure how they got in there. This turned into us having lots of private conversations with Chris and playing video games with him for hours on end. Not only did we do a lot of unpaid work for him that he promised he would pay us for, he would also frequently bring up sexual topics that was definitely not appropriate to bring up around 15, 16-year-olds, especially with him being like, I don't know, 20, 21 years old. He would even go as far as linking me several different corn and hentai videos throughout the time of me talking with him. Not only that, but he had an NSFW bot in his Discord server before he made it public. So when it was just a private server, his little circle of minors. And he would use this NSFW bot to spam different corn images, alongside all these 15-year-olds. He would also frequently call me dad and daddy, as well as the others, which I guess we all kind of just took as a joke at the time. You have to think this is someone who we looked up to at the time, we idolized, we thought was the coolest person in the world, so they couldn't really do any wrong in our eyes. But looking back, I was definitely uncomfortable at being called
daddy. Like, okay.
And guys, just really fast.
And aren't they younger? Sorry.
Yeah. No, they are. But here's the thing: are any of you surprised? We are talking about an individual and individuals in this transgender psychotic abomination that's been happening and plaguing this world. These people are men. Society's saying, live your truth and you're a woman. The majority of the past mass shooters have been transgender. A lot of them are disgusting pedophiles because they want to, bring these young because they can't multiply. They have to use our children. When are we going to stop and say, you guys are mentally effed in the head? We need to start a program to find out what the hell is going on and what happened to you, and go after the people that made you who you are. Because this is a contagion that's happening, and nobody's addressing the fact, Robbie, that it's not only the root problem, but we're going fast forward and going, no, it's okay. Let's mutilate the kids. Let's do this. You're trans positive. It's horseshit. Look at this guy. This guy's he's a grooming pedophile.
I completely agree, but I do want to make a very clear distinction and kind of clarify my thoughts here. I think there's two different types of trans people. There is a trans person who actually suffers with the debilitating condition of gender dysphoria, where how they feel on the inside doesn't match what they see in the mirror and isn't recognizable to the people around them. And that causes them extreme discomfort. And so as an adult, if a person has that and has experienced that debilitating illness their whole life and they want to transition as an adult, not as a child, because there's no such thing as a transgender child. I firmly believe that. As an adult, if they want to do that, I respect that. What we're seeing here with Chris Tyson is something entirely different, okay? This is a fetishist. This is somebody who is sexually aroused by the idea of feeling like a little girl, which is why he watches the lolly porn, the hentai porn depicting younger girls, and this is why he gets the boys, why he calls the boys daddy, because he likes to feel like a little girl, and he's sexually aroused by the feeling of feeling like a little girl. And there is a title for this. There's actually a word for this.
Wow. What is it called?
The word is called autogonophilia.
Autogonophilia?
Yes.
That just sounds bad.
Autogonophilia, not to be confused with ornogotophilia, which is getting aroused from extreme combat.
O'Delly has that.
Yeah. Honestly, that one makes more sense to me than the autogonophilia, which is defined as a male's propensity to be sexually aroused by the thought of himself as a female.
There's a name for every disgusting thing that we...
They all sounded the same
They're all
to me.
disgusting, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was just making a joke. But like at the end of the day, like these are two very distinctively different types of people. So I want to just clarify on that. We can see that Chris is a fetishist. Chris isn't actually a trans person. Okay. Then on the 24th, what happened is Jimmy Donaldson actually came out, MrBeast, and he publicly disavowed. Now, again, let's just recap the timeline. This is the day that the second victim came out, the video exposing MrBeast for faking his content came out, and then this came out as well. Wow. So he's basically just saying over the last few days, I've become aware of the serious allegations and I'm disgusted. During this time, I focused on hiring an independent third party to conduct a thorough investigation to ensure I have all the facts. That being said, I've seen enough online to take immediate action to remove Ava from the company, my channel, any association with MrBeast. I do not condone or support any such inappropriate acts, and brings up again that he is conducting an independent investigation.
If he gets in trouble, this Ava, whatever, Chris, I don't give it, the dude, because he still has all his junk, the guy, Chris was his original name.
Chris.
If this all comes to pass and he's guilty, any jail time? No. Zero.
So is
Zero.
Is the conversation about whether or not MrBeast knew, or was he doing it under the guise of MrBeast, or was he just doing it of his own accord and MrBeast is guilty by association?
Yeah, so that's what we're gonna kind of get into now, and we'll just breeze through these really quick, and I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts.
We have 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, we can just flick through these. Honestly, you guys, if you want to come back and pause and read through
What's
them.
one of the worst ones on there?
Which one? We can actually, let's just skip through to the last one where MrBeast actually chimes in. But the essence of these is they're saying like, hey, we need to take down the porn out of this site because there's lots of minors in here. Chris is saying, no, we don't. He's giving other inappropriate
he's sticking up for the porn.
Correct. And we'll flick through. Let's go to the last one where MrBeast actually chimes in. And MrBeast made this comment.
Which one is that
He said, so one of the people inside the group said that Chris is his penis isn't big enough. MrBeast chimes in and says, no, I know his penis size and it's huge. Now, this is in the very same server where all of these inappropriate conversations are taking place. Over 50,000 of these messages are leaked. So we can definitively say that he has to have some type of idea. And also terrible behavior like this doesn't exist in a vacuum. Like when you engage in deplorable behavior on a consistent basis, typically speaking, people are aware. The last thing we can flick to the last slide. Chris also purchased from this artist called Shadman. We can skip through this one actually. Shadman actually creates and depicts a lot of compromising pictures of young girls doing all different types of things. Chris purchased one of these images, hung it on the wall, and we can see that Jimmy, MrBeast, in the background there is sitting with the poster just adjacent to him. And after all of this came out, when you go back and look for this video, they edited it out in the back end of YouTube. You can edit things on the back end of YouTube to remove them. And so, I mean, is he covering his tracks? What do you guys think? Like, what did you think about MrBeast before versus now? We know that Chris is a freak, like lock them up, throw away the key. But how do you guys feel about MrBeast now?
Final thoughts. Sorry guys, it's a short episode.
Yeah, just really And guys, I'm going to answer that when Brandon's Israel Hezbollah thing we're going to get to next week. But Amy, it doesn't surprise me. It's always these people that present themselves as these pure and amazing. I always say this. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time when things are too good. And the moment I don't watch the videos. I've seen parts of the MrBeast. I'm just being honest. I'm 46. I don't have time for that young, colorful, dumb shit. But see, the moment I saw I'm supporting this dude who left his wife and the kid to be this, I knew something was up. And then recently I saw this video, and again, it's just a video. I don't give too much credence to it, but a guy that goes on and explains, he goes, the Antichrist is MrBeast, and he goes into this whole thing about the name, and even, you know who talked about it as well? Andrew Tate was like, the word beast. He goes, you think that just randomly happened? This guy calls himself MrBeast, which is satanic, and he goes, who do you think's watching that channel? And going to your point, Amy, all that Discord, all that stuff, what's the youngest age of a kid that's in that Discord? If
there were some that were like 12, 13, confirmed that were inside of that group.
12-year-old kids, watching them talking about penis and sucking, and guys, and this is what they just caught. Can you imagine? And the fact that he's trying to holler, Chris, the dude, at other young boys and trying to, it's called grooming. It's called grooming. And I appreciate that you made the point about the trans and the old. Still, gender dysphoria is a mental illness disorder. It's an illness. You are sick. We need to find out what's happening because it's this contagion to make them sick, because it's never been this bad. Everything's gay. Everything's trans. Everybody's fucking confused. Go ahead, Rob.
Rob, final thoughts?
Final thought.
I'm not surprised weirdos playing video games talking to young children are weirdos. That's that's kind of like illegal immigrants breaking into the country and then doing illegal things. It kind of just makes sense. It's one of those, it's unfortunately a conversation I had to have with my 14-year-old because he was a viewer of MrBeast, and our 5-year-old likes to copy everything the 14-year-old does. So in essence, he is also a MrBeast fan. So these are two uncomfortable conversations we've had to have in our house recently where it was, I'm not familiar with MrBeast content, but I'd rather not have it in my home than have it at this point, just based off of what I have read. So at this point, MrBeast banned from our house. Now, is that going to ruin his empire? No, not just me. But I think any active parent who has a child that is a follower or a fan of MrBeast should act accordingly and prevent their children from being exposed to this. And the only way that you can make sure that you can do that is by banning MrBeast, because you don't know his involvement, but everything looks suspect at this point.
What's up, everybody? Vincent O'Shana here. If you want to see me and the entire Valuetainment crew, we will be at the Vault Conference September 4th through the 7th at the Palm Beach Convention Center, hosted by none other than Patrick Bet-David and featuring Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Guys, this is the place to be. If you are an entrepreneur and you want to level up, do not miss this opportunity. This is the best place to network. If you want tickets, go to thevaultconference.com. Do not waste time. This thing is going to sell out, and I will see you guys there. Peace and love. So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.